If we unhide our leaf point cloud and move forward a frame, we can see the last problem that we need to face. When we emitted particles from the surface of the birch, we didn't account for the fact that the birch might deform by some other means, in this case by the spring system. So when I hit play and I actually slide the wind vector up to increase the turbulence of the tree branches, you can see that the leaves just don't follow along. So we kind of defeat the purpose of what we've tried to do. If I go back to frame 1, what I'm going to do is go back into the leaf's point cloud, and I'm going to make one last change to the first state found in the leaf blowing, falling, sticking compound I created earlier on. If I edit and dive deep into the state compound, we can see that this is the leaves on tree fluttering state. This is state 0 that we set up initially. What's happening is that all of these executes are being processed one after the other, so we're setting the particle's orientation first, and then setting the particle scale. And I haven't actually connected the control instance animation back up, but nowhere at the end do we update the position of the particle that was emitted at frame 2. So to control an update in position, we can actually get the emit location of our particle. If we look under getters, we can get the particle emit location attribute. If I pull that into my graph, you can see that we can output a location, a position, or a normal. And so if I can get the particle emit location, I can set that back on my particles as their position. So if I look under setters and I find set particle position, again a vector, I can take the emit location position, input into the set particle position, and plug the set particle position execute into execute every frame of a state. And I'm going to have it as the last execute that's evaluated in the state before recycling back through the graph again. So I need to make a little bit of room for it. In fact, I can just pull everything over a little bit more. There we go. I'll just quickly make a comment here. So this gets and sets the emit location at the end of state evaluation. Alright, so let's test out how that works. If I press play and I move my wind vector up along the y-axis, you can see now that we have the leaves following the motion of the branches. Okay, so let's see how that works with the volume control. Make sure I'm in about the right plane here. And if the wind's blowing, any interaction with the volume causes the leaves to fall down. And let's see if the stick to ground works. It appears that it does. Let me just switch to texture decal view. Awesome. So we finally got our effect working. Everything is working together now, and we have a complete interactive particle system built on a spring simulated deformation object. I could package this whole effect up now as an instanced object and pass this through to my entire forest. You need a pretty powerful machine to be able to process a lot of trees, but you can get the idea of the scalability of this system when we can have more processors on our computer or higher clock speeds. The last thing I'm going to do with this is package it up as a model so I can export it into a separate file. I'm going to move a few things down. I'm going to create a model. Call it my tree simulation model. I'm going to move all of my attributes into it. As well as the groups. And export the model from frame 1. And there we go. So that's the end of our tree-based tutorial using ICE and some additional plugins. I hope you enjoyed it.